So they're saying Atlanta has an outbreak of the HIV virus of like 20,000 people. Now, this, like most things, I believe, are a conspiracy. Now, the human immunodeficiency virus, it is so strange how the face of a virus is black. I don't get it. So, let's go back to the beginning. Let's see how it originally transpired. The biggest name in HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, was Magic Johnson. Boom. God damn, Magic. What the fuck? Now, we need to know one thing for certain. Black people are the best marketers on the planet. If you want to market to anybody, you use a black face. If you want to market to everybody, you use a black face. Black people are the #1 media darlings of the world. So, of course, people say that people had AIDS and HIVs. And then they said that the HIV, the virus, caused AIDS, the syndrome. Which was another lie, because people could get AIDS without having HIV. Also, likewise, there are several autoimmune diseases out there right now that most people know about. AIDS is one of those things that before a knowledge base in medicine was known, it's like, that's an autoimmune disease. Okay. But there are several. And this syndrome of autoimmune, it's just one of those things. But the HIV virus was championed and brought along to you by none other than Magic Johnson, or Irving Magic Johnson, who is, or soon to be, a billionaire, who probably is a billionaire as we speak. Now, his business acumen definitely brought him his money, because he didn't make that much while playing in the NBA. No, he made millions, but he didn't make billions. He didn't have a Nike endorsement. He had a Converse endorsement. So we all know Chuck Taylors ain't selling like that. Anyway, he's still alive, and he's had the virus the majority of his life. The human I can't keep saying it. The HIV virus. That's a double virus. The HIV, right? Immunodeficiency. Human immunodeficiency virus. Okay? He had that. Okay? So, he had that throughout the majority of his life, because he's probably around 70 now. He probably got it when he was about 30. So 30, if we say 35, then and he's 70 now, half his life, maybe even more than half, right? So, because I remember it when I was a child that he had HIV, and he's lived this long, right? People say that he never had it because other people claim to have it and contract AIDS and go on about their way. And they said that the AIDS were really rampant in people that use intravenous drugs, as far as needles in the veins, used poppers, and the alternative lifestyle community, LGBTQIA plus, right? So these were the death sentences of AIDS, but then they tied HIV to AIDS with a nice little ribbon on it, right? It said, you get this, you're gonna get that. You get this, you're gonna get that. Magic Johnson never had that. So I guess now you see it, now you don't. It's magic. Anyway, the HIV, in my opinion, the conspiracy behind it, as we go, free love in the 70s, right? Crack epidemic in the 80s, right? What started happening in the 90s? Can you tell me? Can you tell me? Can you think about it and talk to me about it? 1 second, please. Oh my goodness, I'm back. The biggest thing that happened in the 90s were black men as sex symbols. The 90s were the biggest wave of black male sex symbols ever. Now, you've had those in the past. You've had, due to segregation and, faux pas happening and things of that nature, there was maybe an underlining thing as far as sex symbols. Michael Jackson wasn't black. That kind of like separated, black men from being sex symbols. But in the 90s, come on, you had people, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson. People remember him being black in the 90s, for real. You had people like Michael Irving, who played for the Cowboys, America's team. He was this bigger life figure, whatever, bigger than life figure. And you had people, Dawn on the Stage, Wesley Snipes, Denzel Washington. Like, all these people were starting to make a name for themselves, make a recognition, and really push this black male sex symbol, right? It was everywhere, from Do the Right Thing, to Jungle Fever, So now this crossover is happening where they're saying, okay, interracial couples are acceptable at this point, right? Not It's frowned upon, it's looked down upon, but it won't get you killed, and it won't ruin your life or how you live it, your livelihood, things of that nature. So people were doing it and doing it well, doing it and doing it and doing it well. LL Cool J, huh? Black male sex symbols, all-time high in the 90s. Follow me. I'm going there, right? Now, one of the biggest stars of the 80s, right? Because Magic Johnson came out in damn near the 70s, but he was the biggest star of the 80s. Now, Michael Jordan came out in the 80s, but became the biggest star in the 90s. So, in the 80s, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were doing their thing, blase, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knew the counterplay to Larry Bird, right? All the white Americans knew it was Magic Johnson because of Larry Bird. Like, okay, we've been following them. They literally saved the NBA, right? Because of that counterplay that they had going on with the race bait. So now the biggest well-known athlete, black star in Hollywood, come on, now has contracted a human immunodeficiency virus. Really? I gotta quit the league. Okay. Subsequently, he came back in a few years after talking about it ain't that bad, but it was never the same again. People were iffy about him, touching him and whatever, but this whole span of time, poster boy, wrap it up. Protect yourself against HIV. That's what the Magic Man says. Right? And this is in the 90s. So now there's a shadow, a veil. It's a label on your forehead saying Black HIV. People don't want to go see that. People don't want to go to that. No, I wasn't sexually active in the 90s. That was before my time. But I'm saying, though, I can remember it, though. Now, when we look at the 90s and we look at people were still doing it and doing it well, Freaknik was going on, things like that. But HIV wasn't on the rise and as strong and as big as it is today, right? Or claimed to be as big as it is today, because people were not really caring. They were just like, all right, black people were still road dogging the shit out of everything, even though hip hop was making a stance on protecting yourself and wearing prophylactics. You gotta have a Jimmy on, extra tight, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? So everything was about wearing condoms when it came to the black culture at the time. But motherfuckers wasn't doing that shit. Motherfuckers wasn't doing that shit. Anyway, when you look at how the HIV virus was brought to our psyche it was told to us not in scientific fashion, but in hearsay, a roundabout. I heard it came from somebody fucking a monkey. They was fucking monkeys over in Africa. I'm not telling you a false statement. This is exactly what people were saying, how HIV came to be. A monkey fucking monkeys. So there was no scientific reference or database to say how this new virus has come into our human ecosystem, right? So it was weird. It's like COVID. So the poster child was black. They said it came from Africa. Fucking monkeys. Now, what happened next? A HIV/AIDS, because they were connecting the two. They were connecting the virus with a syndrome that had no proof of connection. They said it could cause it. It could cause it. Even though the virus was here, Magic Johnson, still alive today, most of his life he had HIV, like a herpes, but never had the AIDS. But they say that this is connected. Come on, make it make sense. Now they're saying HIV/AIDS, 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 HIV/AIDS. AIDS is a death sentence. Don't get HIV because you get AIDS. HIV/AIDS. This is the truth, all right? I'm not telling you. I'm not making nothing up. Go do your research. So now, even though Africans have been living in Africa before it was called Africa, before people knew, a map, before anything, right? Before people knew that people were people. What I'm saying is, if niggas wasn't fucking monkeys when they had primitive brains, why would a nigga fuck a monkey now? Why would a nigga go and like, oh, I want to go fuck a monkey? That baboon has been turning me on. It's been turning me on. Nah. Especially when you can go get a long pig. Anyway, the thing is that the virus, kaboom, went up in Africa. People said that it started in Africa, but all of a sudden it starts here in America first and then ignites in Africa. All the while they were handing out shots for sterilization, as well as measles, mumps, and immunization shots, right? So all of this happened around the same time. People started going over and saying, we want to cure the world, we want to heal the world, we want to make the world a better place. They used that farce to go over, stick people with needles, and administer. You know what I'm saying. I've already laid out the groundwork. Go ahead and walk across. Anyway, so now Africa is the nation of blacks, right? Or the continent of blacks. Anything connected to Africa is we by satellite receive that. So now, Irvin Magic Johnson, poster boy, a continent full of HIV/AIDS. What's that do to the psyche of America? These niggas are dirty, right? All the while trying to diminish the sex symbol, which is the black man at the time, right? And we fast forward it, right? And we have the mass incarceration crisis, school to prison pipeline, and what happens in prison stays in prison, right? So the things that happen in prison comes out, right, maybe affecting the community. People say, down low brothers, what's happening, right? And that's who giving up, blah, 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 blah. But what started happening was the rising population of new HIV/AIDS, they still connected it, cases were by black women. I'm telling you, black women said it was down low brothers. The data says black women are the rising cases of AIDS. Not black men, but black women. So now we look at HIV/AIDS and we say, it seems like it's always a black issue, and it always seems like there is a population control going on inside of the sphere of control when you talk about this HIV/AIDS crisis. So, okay, first it was black men, Irvin Magic Johnson. Now it's black women, largest growing population of AIDS cases. Black people shouldn't be fucking. And then all of a sudden you start seeing posters up. Get tested. Know your results, you know. And what do they put on the posters? What do they put on the TV? What do they advertise? A black man or black woman saying that they have HIV. The whole time. So HIV is a control mechanism for population, in my opinion, because they don't want the numbers to spike when it comes to blacks in this nation, because we've always remained under 15%. So says the census. Obviously, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and we know that's a lie. But we keep it moving as is. And we see that from the 90s till today, there's always been a push to show and showcase that the people of color are the people that are contracting the disease, are the people with the virus, and because of that, they need to be, isolated, controlled, tested, all these things, right? Subconsciously in the minds of people, they see and hear, don't get with a black person, they might have HIV. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? So again, now In 2025, they're saying 20,000 new cases of HIV in Atlanta. It's 20,000 new cases. That's crazy. Because Atlanta is the Mecca in America. It is the, lack of a better term, black capital of America. Right? So, Urban Magic Johnson to Africa to download brothers in the prisons to black women to Atlanta. All the while, it's always been the same face for the same case. Let me know what you think. I've been talking for a little minute. Let me know what you think I missed or didn't say. I really want to know how you think of the virus of the human immunodeficiency virus / AIDS, and how you think about it and how it's presented to you. So let me know. Peace.